episode 231 of Mox Light with Sparky3. Hope you're having a phenomenal day, whatever day you are watching or listening to this show. We're live a little bit earlier in the day today, which I think we did just like a couple weeks ago. I got John here in studio. John, how you doing?
You sure we don't want to run it back again?
Yeah, run it back a third time, after we had some tech problems. Literally, and the same thing happened with ATFS like a week or two ago. Like I get everything's checked out, everything's good. We're starting to play the intro video, and I look down and I realized that the guys over Discord, their audio was not being picked up, and I was like, panic mode, because we're live. This is intro video. Their audio's not being picked up, and I'm like, okay, back to the starting soon thing. I got to figure this out real quick, boys. Oh man, no Zach today. Hopefully he'll be back next week. He had to work all day today. But overall, John, how you feeling today?
I'm good.
Good. Got some fun stuff to talk about today, at least in my opinion. With the Nintendo Direct that took place yesterday. Shout out to that. And then of course, Digimon Story Time Stranger demo.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting a demo to come out.
True.
But once it did, I was like, okay, well, I guess I gotta sit down and play this and figure out how much to get hyped for this game.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hyped to get, because this is, as if you listen to the show, then you know we have talked about this game ad nauseum since reveal. Going to be talking about the demo, of course, the Direct with the Mario 40th stuff, Metroid Prime, Fire Emblem, which I am ready to geek out over here in a little bit. But first and foremost, if you could, though, like, comment, subscribe. We'd appreciate extra support. We'll make sure to shout Rogue Energy and our merch later on in the show. Check out the Patreon if you want to support us further, and join the Discord. Be a friend, tell a friend. All right, let's turn down the volume.
Before we get into any topic,
I think I know what you're going to talk about.
Like, before we get into the Direct or Digimon or anything, time for a little update.
Yeah, time for an update. I know what the update is.
I've now completed Hell Is Us. I didn't 100% the game, but I've beat through the story. I've probably done 60 to 70% of the stuff in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Game's great. I mean, it's still a great game. One of the worst parts about the game is, in my opinion, is the janky combat.
Right.
I spoke about the combat being not the best before.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, no shame in it. I turned the combat difficulty down because
Nothing wrong with
I
that.
didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy the combat. The combat's there, but I didn't find it fun. I turned the difficulty on the combat down. Game immediately became more enjoyable to play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure on the story of the game still. I think there's some parts that I didn't pay enough attention to or something, but I got a general idea of it. One thing I don't think I mentioned as much last week is if you do go to play this game and you do pay attention to the story elements of the game, I forgot to mention, or I did mention, the game is kind of like the country that you're in is kind of going through a civil war type stuff.
Right.
Very, very dark. Like, a lot of the conversation, a lot of the imagery in the game, a lot of the stuff in the levels, very, very dark.
Mm-hmm.
It is. They do not shy away from showing and talking about some terrible things.
Right.
So it is a very dark game. But yeah, let's say after beating the game, I'm glad I picked the game up because it's one that it wasn't on my radar. I didn't plan on buying it at all. I'm glad I picked it up. It was a lot of fun to play through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the story elements are very dark. I missed some stuff in the story, I guess, so I didn't fully understand what was happening towards when I got to the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as exploring the world and everything, way more enjoyable. And last week I talked about some of the exploration being kind of mildly annoying, but that was in part because stuff I was trying to do, or when I went into zones, a couple of things that I decided I'm going to focus in on this. late game stuff that like late game like puzzles and stuff that you actually get to. You cannot complete early on.
Hmm.
When I went back after last week and I kept playing, man, it very much is one of those cases where the more you play the game, the less you get held back by like a lot of the exploration. Because when I went back to it and started playing through it, and like went to some of the new areas and then came back to the old areas, I had everything I needed to do, every bit of exploration I wanted to do.
Mm.
So it's one where the more you play the game, the more the exploration opens up to you, which is kind of what I figured it would be. Uh, so it was one where way more enjoyable in the second half of the game. Because a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do when I first saw it, I didn't get to do for like 7 more hours. But once I got to it, I was very excited to go through it and kind of experience it. So yeah, it is it. I mean, it's a game I would recommend playing the game. Like if you like like a game that gives you no guidance really, then it's a pretty easy recommend. Combat is there. I would recommend playing it on the easiest combat difficulty.
Just go enjoy the game, kind of
It's
thing.
like I would play it on the easiest combat difficulty. This game is not about combat, and especially as you get later in the game, once you get to tier 3 enemies, and then towards the end of the game, some new enemies start showing up. They are just the health pools are just
Brutal.
it's kind of brutal because it is just a numbers thing, where as you increase the difficulty, the number, like the HP pool and the amount of damage they do, just goes up and up and up.
Hmm.
Uh, so it's one where combat is not the main focus of the game. So I would highly recommend playing it on the easier combat difficulty because, like I said, combat's not the point. The point is the exploration, kind of the stories and stuff that you can find along the way, and the puzzles are very enjoyable in the game.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would highly recommend playing the game.
Nice, nice, nice. So what was the final score? Did it bump up to an 8 like you were, or did it stay firmly at a 7
I'd
because of
I
the
would
boss stuff?
I would so in reference to like one thing I said is this game would be locked at a 7 out of 10 if it didn't have like boss fights. Technically, there are some boss fights in the game. One of them terrible. One of them is terrible. It was not fun to do. I did not enjoy doing it at all.
Mm.
The other one, the other thing is they're not like a traditional cool boss fight. It's kind of more like you fight the enemy enough to a point where then something else happens, and then you kind of got to run around and uh, it's like half a fight and half kind of like I don't want to say puzzle, but a st- it's not just straightforward like fight the whole time.
Right.
Uh, one of the boss fights was, like I said, I did not enjoy it at all. The other one was after I turned like the combat difficulty down, so I
Mm.
just breezed through it. It was much more enjoyable. There was more stuff happening. It was more of a visual spectacle.
Mhm.
Uh, in that one, so I enjoyed it a lot more. When I came out of the first one, I was like, I hated that. When I came out of that one, I went, that wasn't even if I was playing on the harder combat difficulty, that wouldn't have been hard, but it was cool.
Mhm.
It was cool to like see all the stuff that was going on. I'd comfortably give this game an 8 out of 10.
Comfortably gave it an 8 out of 10. There you go.
It was one where, like I said, the further in the game you went, the more enjoyable it was. The second half, like, because I think this game took me like 17 and a half hours to beat or something. The second like 9 hours, or like the second half of the game that I played in like around 9 hours, was way more enjoyable than the first for me.
Mhm.
Uh, Partially because I had already gathered a lot of the exploration stuff that I needed, and it was one where I had gotten used to the level design and how maneuvering around the world, or like each area that you go to, is. So it uh in the first half I was kind of stumbling around and kept running into dead ends, and in the second half, I kind of had the feel of how they designed it, so it was a much more natural progression for me.
Mhm.
So it was one where I enjoyed the second half. The first half I think had like probably had more character interaction and stuff like that you could do. The second half for me was more like big picture stuff in the game,
Mhm.
but it was more. I definitely had more fun in the second half.
Nice. Nice. Shout out to Hell Is Us. Firmly an 8 out of 10
Yeah,
from
yeah,
from
I would.
John here at Gamestetic.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. It's one where I will say part of being able to give it an 8 out of 10 is the fact that it is at that slightly lower price point as well of $50
Mhm.
instead of like a $70 game. I think
True.
there's a and like I said, I got about 18 hours out of this game. If I went back to like 100% everything, I probably got maybe 4 to 5 hours left to play. Uh, but it's one where, like I said, it was enjoyable for me. It's not a game I was looking forward to, but it's a game that surprised me.
Nice. Nice. Now it's to see where it's gonna fall on the Gamestetic bracket at the end of the year.
Oh, it's not gonna go far in the bracket. I'm the only one who can give it any sort of any sort of sway.
Yeah, but that sway
It's
can sway me or Zach
yeah,
very easily.
but it's also one where, like I said, this game surprised me, but I'm not gonna say it's one of the it's not one of the best games that's gonna come out this year. Uh,
It's just one
it's
of those
it's
nice 7 out of 10 type
yeah,
games.
it's one where it was a very enjoyable game to play through. It there's a decent chance it'll sneak its way in towards the bottom of my 10 list for this year.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's one where compared to a lot of stuff that I know came out this year, it'll be hard. It would be a hard sway, especially for the games that I know you guys have been playing.
That's fair.
You guys, you guys may
That's
not
fair.
necessarily play the most amount of games, but you guys really like the games you play.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. One game that I did officially pick up and got sent to me this week because like when I played it before, and I talked about it briefly on the show. I think I only played it via like PlayStation Plus. I think I don't remember, but I got the physical edition for the Plucky Squire, the deluxe edition.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember you talking about that.
yeah. I got that this week, so I got back on there. I got it for Switch and was playing that. That game is just. I'm gonna tell you up front, that game is gonna be one of my favorite like art style games of this year, easily. Like that game is just so unique, man. Like I give Devolver all the credit in the world for the creativity of that game.
Did that game come out last year?
No, it came out this year. And unless I'm tripping, I'm pretty sure it came out in like March. It's been a long year, so that's why it might feel like it came out last year. But I'm pretty sure it was this year. Let me see, Plucky Squire.
I could be wrong on that, but for some
Nah,
reason,
actually, you're right. It was 2024. My
I was
bad.
gonna say that
My fault.
I thought that was a 2024 game.
My fault. My fault. No, I think it was. I guess where I'm getting tripped up is, I think the physical edition only came out like early
The
this year.
physical edition probably came out because I think it was a digital only game.
Yeah,
when it
I
first
think
came
that
out.
I think the physical edition came out now that you're starting to unlock key memories here. I think the physical edition came out in like January or February, and I just picked up the deluxe edition here just recently. So my fault.
Yeah.
Either way, got on there. Just give Devolver all the credit for that game. It's so creative and it's so cool. I'm having such a great time with it. So that's all I've really done this week is I've just played Digimon Storytime Stranger Demo and Plucky Squire, and then been doing a lot of yard work this week, so my gaming kind of stopped there. That's about all I've done in my free time is just lay down and play that. So, but I will say, in terms of gaming, there's a lot to look forward to coming up with this Nintendo Direct because I had some stuff that I walked away from extremely exciting. I kind of view this Direct as like a tone setting Direct because we're still in that launch period where there were a couple of key things for me that just kind of really sets the tone of what to expect over this first full calendar year of the console. The Mario 40th, I mean, you can argue that it's, you know, I guess because it's been so long since the last 3D Mario, you can argue that the 40th kind of feels a slight lackluster because it's like we're ready for the next 3D Mario.
It's like
but at the same time, it was still a solid little lineup.
For it being the 40th, I understand why they spent as much time on it. But for what we ended up getting out of what they spent their time on, we could have trimmed some time off of this segment. The Mario 40th segment was 20 minutes long.
Yeah, it was. It was 20 minutes.
20 minutes long, and when you look at what they actually came out of it talking about,
Yep,
like
museum, theme parks, the
we-
Kyoto Marathon.
it's like we could have trimmed like 5 minutes off of this
Yeah, yeah.
talk.
For me, I know whenever we got the official reveal for the next Mario movie, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, shout out, coming out in April. And they said that this is the main event of the 40th. I'm like, okay, 3D Mario is still a little bit off.
Well,
We're a little bit away on that.
Well, yeah, you got to think if they're going to, well, they're going to do another 3D Mario.
Absolutely.
But you got to think the team that they're going to give it to
just did Bonanza.
They just finished and shipped that on Bonanza. We are a ways off from a 3D Mario.
Yeah, like once you it's one of those things like once like watching the DK Bonanza stuff, we could all assume, yeah, that's probably the Odyssey team. Then it was confirmed, yes, it's the Odyssey team. And now with the wording of this is the main event of the 40, it's like, okay, yeah. So we obviously the Odyssey team is going to do the next Mario game. There's no questions on that. But it's those domino effects of, okay, well, they did DK, they finished up DK, they have a DK expansion that was announced in this direct. You know, they're saying that the movie is going to be the main event of the 40th. Okay, yeah, those two little pieces of info can conclude that next 3D Mario is probably a little ways off, like probably like a 2027 game.
I was going to say
absolute best.
I would say we're 2 years off from seeing the announcement, which means we're at a minimum 3 years off from the game.
Yeah, because you also have to think of another big anniversary that's coming up next year is the 40th of Zelda too. So those are two obviously huge IPs of like, okay, well, what are we gonna get next year for Zelda? Is something new Zelda gonna get announced next year? Is something new Mario gonna get announced next year or the year after? So there's a kind of a little weird window there between their two juggernauts. Yeah. But I mean, the things we did get for the 40th, I mean, obviously the Mario Galaxy movie, that'll be fun. They skipped over, I guess, the at one point leaked Super Mario World trademarks that were being put through. And I just saw this yesterday, dude. This was so funny to me. Apparently the Mario Galaxy, like, naming and like title and logo, it got leaked early. Do you want to know how it got leaked? Did you see this?
No.
An Old Spice collaboration. I shit you not.
I mean,
dude, like, how does that? Like, come on, bro. No, there was a couple of Old Spice that like Mario that had Luigi and Yoshi, and it had the logo, the same logo, but it was all grayed out. Super Mario Galaxy, the movie, had the Illumination, whatever logo and everything on there. And then there was like a Canadian product guide, like for upcoming products, and the two images that got leaked, those scents, they were on the list of upcoming Old Spice scents coming out for this collaboration. And there was like Castle, whatever, this, Galaxy, whatever, blah blah. It's like, your massive movie gets leaked by Old Spice. It's so funny to me.
Also, it's one of those things where, like, when did that happen?
The Old Spice thing, just here recently.
I was gonna say, because, like, I mean, to be fair, if those images started popping up on the internet, no one would pay any attention to that.
Right.
Nobody's gonna expect the Old Spice collaboration. They're gonna see that and go, somebody's goofing around.
Yeah, someone's having a good time. But no, Mario Galaxy movie. I mean, that'll be fun. But let's jump into the games. So we did get the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for Nintendo Switch. They are coming in a physical pack, which I went ahead and pre-ordered because I saw someone put up saying that they went to their local GameStop, and that particular GameStop said they were only having 10 to pre-order. So it could be a very limited thing, kind of similar to the 3D All-Stars. So I went ahead and snagged my pre-order. A lot of discourse a little bit online with the pricing, of course, as per normal with Nintendo stuff, because it's like $40 a pop individually for digital, which is kind of crazy.
I was going to ask this because I didn't pay a whole lot of attention during the Mario segment, if I'm honest. These are just ports, but I would call them remasters because they did talk about how they worked out some more of the motion controls, because that's obviously a key part of the game. Well, I wouldn't call that I wouldn't say that's a remaster unless they actually went in to like remaster more of like visuals or something like that. Because of course you have to alter how the motion controls work is a Wii game.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like you
So
have
yeah,
to.
I guess you would say
It,
it's
it
just a port.
okay. Because I knew they would with those games they would have to figure out how the motion control stuff would work on it.
Hmm.
But I wasn't sure if they had done anything besides just make the motion controls work for Switch.
Right. No, no, yeah, I mean that's a good point. So, if anything, I would say it's at least a port of both of them. So, I mean, I can understand the discourse, but at the end of the day, it's Nintendo. It's what are you gonna do? Not get it? I mean, if you want Mario Galaxy 2 and if you missed out on 3D Collection, you want Mario Galaxy, then you're gonna want to pick these up. It sucks, because again, like they're selling them for $40 a pop digitally, or you can do the $70 physical release for just ports. But I don't know. That's Nintendo.
It's one where they they make it hard for me to ever want to actually try to get into Mario
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
because it's like I mean the Galaxy games they're pretty well touted games.
97 and 97 on
It's like
Metacritic.
it's
That's
like
crazy.
like people love them. I never it's like I never played them. It's
Hmm.
like I look at it I'm like if I'm looking at games coming up, uh I'm gonna skip out on the $70 Mario pack
Right.
for some ports of games that came out.
God, like 15,
Yeah, I was
20
gonna
years
say
ago.
like over a decade ago
Yeah, it's
at a
like,
minimum.
yeah,
So yeah, it's like I'll skip out on those.
right. Like I said, I went ahead and snagged the pre-orders because I like to, collect them. Obviously, I've got the 3D All Stars sealed. I bought that one digitally. I've got all the other Mario games, and of course, the Galaxy games are Christina's favorites of Mario. So, pick that up. It is coming out October 2nd, which as soon as I saw that date, I'm just like, dude, seriously, like everything's that week. You have Ghost of Yotai, this Digimon, like come on, like come on.
Okay, this is this is the point where I also have to bring up. We have to mention it every time. There, I would say Mario. There's a large number of people that for that week they're gonna pick up that Mario double pack.
True.
Most of the world is gonna pick up
Ghost
Ghost
of
of
Yotai,
Yotai.
yeah.
Uh, and then there's us.
Digimon, let's
where,
go.
where we look at that week and we go,
Digimon.
man, sorry, Ghosts.
Yeah, Digimon, brother.
You landed next to Digimon.
Yeah, no, facts. Let that record still very firmly be known. But no, either way, excited for Galaxy 1 and 2. They also revealed that Rosalina's storybook is also getting a physical release, so that's kind of cool too. They did reveal a new Mario Tennis, which this just pissed me off because it's like they will do anything but make a new baseball game. Damn it!
Oh, this is a new tennis?
This is a new tennis.
I thought this was just like
An expansion to Aces?
I thought this was just like Mario Aces coming
No.
to Switch, like
Whole new
them
game.
doing like a Switch 2 in that
Nope.
for it, and then like some additional stuff, so they changed the name of it.
Nope, whole new game. They will do anything but make a new baseball game. We haven't had baseball games since the Wii. That's the best Mario sports games. Come on, you're killing me.
Nintendo makes it hard for me to want to care.
Right, dude, I know. Because like, I mean, you had like my second favorite of the sports games, which was Strikers, and absolutely botched it on the Switch. So that's great. Golf is whatever. They made the new one of golf. Golf's boring. Tennis it can be fun with friends, but I don't know. I don't give a shit about it. I want baseball.
Even the tennis, I'd say if you're playing with friends, it's fun for like an hour.
Yeah, it's fun for like an hour.
Then everybody's over it.
Yeah, but baseball, you go through the draft. I mean, every game's different. The Mario Super Sluggers on the Wii, electric. The Friday Guy Days, bruh, electric with Mario Super Sluggers. So God bless. Come on, Nintendo, give me a new baseball game. Damn it.
Yeah. I would actually buy one of your sports games.
Exactly. I want a new baseball game. Like as soon as I saw it was a tennis game, I just got so mad. It's like we just got one. Where's baseball? Damn it. But anyway, Mario Wonder, Nintendo Switch 2 editions coming out, as well as Meetup at Bella Bella Park. And then the final announcement for the Mario 40th, which I was actually excited for. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I think I've talked about this show recently whenever, I got NSO expansion pack finally and hopped on N64. Dude, still to this day, I love Yoshi's Story, and this game gives me such aggressive Yoshi Story vibes. Yoshi Story on the N64 is so much fun. and that's the only sort of vibes this game gets me. So I will be buying this game. I'm not big into Yoshi games. I didn't really play Crafted World. I didn't play Woolly World. On like the Wii U and the port over and the Switch game. I didn't get those. But this one interests me because it takes me back to Yoshi's story. So I am excited for that. So that was a big check for me for the Mario 40th. So I mean, overall, with the Mario 40th stuff, it was fine. I mean, it was fine for what it was for like a big anniversary for like a 40th. You can't always hit fire on all cylinders,
Yeah,
So there's sometimes you just can't.
it's one where it's like it would have been cool to cap it off with like
A 3D Mario or something.
like just a new game announcement
Yeah,
for like Mario,
yeah, yeah,
like a new Mario game, whether that be a, like a new 2D Mario. Everybody wants the 3D Mario, but as we mentioned earlier, I mean, I don't have expectations of seeing a 3D Mario for a couple of years,
right.
but it's one of those where I mean, congratulations on your anniversary for it, but for the like, this is one where if you're a big Nintendo guy, this is or like a big Nintendo or a big Mario guy, is probably a big hitter, or this was probably great for you. For me, this could have been an email.
Yeah, yeah, true. That's fair. That's fair. Going over from there, I just want to go ahead and just geek out a little bit and hit off with the finale real quick. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I am so excited for this game, man. I did think it was really funny. I saw the Avengers Endgame memes of Thanos, where it's just like, all your failures lead back to me, and someone's like, this is Nintendo after Engage didn't sell well. They go back to Fodlan, and I'm like, basically, it's like in case of emergency, break glass, go back to Fodlan. So I'm very excited for this and like the approach that they're taking with Fortune's Weave, where it very clearly looks like a prequel to Three Houses. With them talking with the what you can safely assume was Dimitri's ancestor. It's the same voice actor, looks like him. Talking about, was it the Heroic Games? I think is what it was.
So I don't remember what they called
I
it.
think it's Heroic Games. You can assume that will like help lead into what is known in the Three Houses lore as the War of Heroes, with like Nemesis and the 10 elites and everything like that. Of course, at the very end, we saw Sothis and as an adult, which there for a little bit, I saw some people saying, "Oh, is this a sequel?" I mean, I guess in technicality of releases, yes, it's a sequel, but like it was even like a plot point in Three Houses of Sothis was like, "I don't know why I've got this form. I don't know why I'm a child," because Sothis was already dead at that point. So I mean, Sothis being an adult's not really a big deal, but I saw a lot of deep dives, and I've done some deep dives in the trailer, and there's so many different little hints to things here or there of just like if you kind of take a look at like the battle and the battles they did show, and just like the crests that different characters have. So like I guess our main character Kai, he has the crest of Abin, I believe is what it is, which is Yuri's crest from the Ashen Wolves. Like the dude with the sword that looks kind of like the sword of creator, but it's called the Answer. He is very clearly an ancestor to Mercedes and Yuritsa. He even has the same crest they have, which was shown in the crest on the sword if you look close enough. Looks like one of Happy's ancestors is in there. There was a quick shot of what could have been Constance's ancestor in there, which I thought was also interesting, because especially since the main character is kind of bearing the crest of Yuri's, is like, I wonder if they're going to kind of maybe more dial into like the four Aristotles, which was the four crest of the Ashen Wolves. I wonder if you'll dive into that, but I don't know. There's just so much potential for this to dial it back and kind of lead up to what happened, like with the 10 elites and everything. I'm super pumped for this. I mean, what did you think about the trailer? I'm so damn excited.
I mean, it is one where I like Three Houses. I enjoyed playing Three Houses. I'm not one who went back and played it every storyline or anything,
Yeah,
but it's like I had fun with it. It was a great game. I didn't really until the end of the trailer when we saw Sothis, I was like, I know it's a Fire Emblem game.
right.
And then there I was like, okay, I don't really know what I don't really know what this story is, but it'll be cool.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
like
my mindset.
I'm excited to play it because it's like I casually enjoy Fire Emblem.
Right.
I didn't play Engage. I think I don't remember what came out around that time. but it was one where I just kind of skipped over it.
Hmm.
So it's one where I'm excited for it to come out. I'll play it when it comes out, and I'll have fun with it.
Right.
But it's one where I'm not gonna be as hyped up on it as you, because Three Houses was one of the, like, you played that game through
Multiple times.
more times than I would have ever cared to.
Right.
Uh, but it's one where I'm 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 glad that Fire Emblem is coming back. Uh, in this way, because yeah, when Engage came out, a lot of people didn't like kind of the return to form for Fire Emblem,
Hmm.
and it's like they seem to everybody latched on to the Three Houses and the way that you played that game.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how they do it with this game.
Yeah, that's something I'm very interested in because like one that thing that was I felt like really prevalent in the trailer was just the focus like on these certain characters they showed up close, right? And like maybe heard their voice actor for or whatever. Because there was like a lot of different characters shown in the background. Again, like example, like what you can assume is Constance ancestor. It was simply like you just had to look for it kind of thing. But like these characters that are very in your face and shown, it kind of what you're saying, it kind of makes you think like, okay, are we gonna take the approach like a Three Houses where you kind of take a route essentially, or is it just one overall story? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's one where, like, just based on how the trailer was, it kind of feels like, or I get the feeling it's more of a, like, we've laid the story out for you, play along it.
Yeah,
But
basically.
it's also one where there was enough shown of, like, specific characters where it's like, okay, is this gonna be, as you're kind of going through it, you ally with this group, or you ally with this group, or you ally. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if it is kind of more of that central storyline focused, or replayability with different character groups that
Right.
we saw before with Three Houses.
Yeah, which that's the route that I hope it goes, because I mean, it's always possible, especially with how the heroic game seems to be designed, just from the trailer of where Dimitri's ancestor will grant a wish or whatever, and you have all these characters that are eyeing for the throne or whatever the wording was in the trailer. So it's definitely possible that you have your center character of Kai, who mentioned in the trailer, it's like I'm just fighting to save my dad. So it's like if that's the case, he could just side with whoever he thinks gives it the best shot, which again gives you that replayability. Because that was one of the best parts about Three Houses is that replayability and seeing all the different story options and everything. So, and if that's the case, I saw another meme of like, oh man, I can't wait for another 7 years of discourse of everyone arguing which leader was right and which leader was the right way to go. So either way, Fire Emblem Fortune Weaves, fantastic trailer, great music in the trailer, by the way, phenomenal music. Cannot wait for it. And man, off the dome, I'm trying to think of like games we know are coming out next year. Right now, it might be my number one most anticipated game for next year already. I can't think of other games for next year that like I'm super mega pumped for. Tides of Annihilation was one of them. But this would beat out Tides of Annihilation for me. But either way, I mean, I'm very, very excited for this game.
Yeah, I will say, I don't, just speaking on like 2026 games, I don't remember what's coming out 2026 right now.
I don't either, besides a handful.
It's gonna be one of those where I have a feeling that it's gonna be like, we're gonna by the time we get to the end of the year, we're gonna know what the big hitters are,
Sure.
because they're gonna reinforce it at the Game Awards for
Oh
us,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
coming out next year.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, like, what the what the lineup is gonna be for next year. Because yeah, like right now, I don't got a clue what I'm excited for next year.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I had to form a list of 5 right now, like, and you told me to do it on off the dome, no chance. No chance.
It's like I can't even start to think of next year, because the next month is jam packed
Yeah.
with too much stuff that I'm focused on.
Right, right. Packed to the gills. Hey, shout out to Metroid Prime 4, barely making it for this year.
Man,
You were so close to getting it right, brother.
they started showing it off, and it's like when they because they did the thing where they showed they ended the trailer and they show like Prime 4 showing
I
up.
know it
And
was so slow.
and I was sitting there, I was like, it's gonna be really funny if they just don't show a date.
Dude, when me and Christina, we watched it again last night, and even she pointed out, man, they knew what they were doing. They were really slow on revealing that release date. I'm like, man, they were keeping everyone on pins and needles for it.
It was one where I was like, it's funny because I've had no stake in this,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
besides ripping you on
yeah,
it.
just trolling. I'm just saying it's not coming out this year. It's getting delayed. It's getting delayed. Man, it barely almost it almost didn't make it. I mean, December, bruh, it almost did not make it. That'll be a good December title though. They showed Hyrule Warrior: Age of Imprisonment, and that got its release date in November, the same month as Kirby Air Riders. Which Kirby Air Riders being like a racing game, like a party game, I was just like, okay, yeah, you could easily fit another game in there. So I was originally thinking Prime would come out in early November, and then once like Hyrule Warriors got that slot, I'm like, oh buddy, because I think Hyrule Warriors was before Prime 4. So when they showed the date for Hyrule Warriors for early November, I was like, oh no, this is not looking good. Prime's either December or delayed. It's one of the two. So man, I'm glad it's coming out this year. Samus with the bike, that looks cool. Open landscapes, drive around, shoot things. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for it. That's gonna be a day one pickup. It's been a long road for this game. So very excited to check it out. With Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, man. One thing I want to shout out, because I was talking to Josh about this because it's kind of interesting. Excited for it because, like, obviously the concept is really interesting. The concept of Age of Calamity is interesting, but like, I don't know, man. Like, both Age of Calamity and Age of Imprisonment, like, they both like have the vibe to me where it's like, yeah, these are gonna be fun games, but like, it doesn't like overly excite me like the original Hyrule Warriors did. And I think the reason why, and I pointed this out to Josh, is because like the original Hyrule Warriors just felt like a celebration of Zelda, huge cast, it's almost like a Smash Brothers level cast. You go through these different venture maps of where like the maps are based on like Wind Waker or Majora's Mask or Twilight or whatever.
Oh no, it's
So
like
like it just felt like a celebration, while these just like are
these
true
games.
spin-offs.
Well, these games are, we want to tell this, we want to tell this story, but we don't have. It's like we can't dedicate the time
Or
to
the
make
money or whatever.
like we can't make you a fully fledged traditional Zelda
Yeah,
game
yeah.
for it. And it's like, and you guys seem to like these warrior type games,
Yep.
so we'll make another one and just include the story in that.
Yep. Which, again, sound concept. I'll buy it. I'll play it. I'll enjoy it. But I just don't have the same level of excitement like I did like the OG Hyrule Warriors. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Like I said, the original just feels like a big celebration of Zelda to me. But let's see. From there, I mean, you got Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Are you excited for that?
I mean,
Little remake.
it'll be cool. Dragon Quest is a series that I played 11 and loved it, and then since then, like, as games are getting like remakes or remasters or something, I'm excited to go back and play some of these games that people tout as like great eras for Dragon Quest.
Right.
So this will be fun. Plus, I'm glad that like 1, 2, and 3 are getting their like HD
2D,
remasters
yeah.
and stuff. Much prefer the look of of this 7 remake.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like much prefer the way this one looks. Just because I'm not as big on like the old. Typically, I'm not as big on like the old school 2D pixel type games. It's like I play some, but they're usually few and far between.
Mhm.
So I'm glad to get I'm glad to get a game that's getting remade in a different style.
Yeah, and that's a good way to describe it, is remade in different style. Like, you don't have to do every single one in that certain style.
Because like I don't know what the Dragon Quest VII original gameplay style or art style or anything was like. I haven't played it before,
haven't
obviously,
looked, yeah.
and haven't looked at it. But it's one where it is that thing of like we talked about fairly recently about the rise of HD 2D remakes.
Mhm.
It's nice that they're not trying to do it for everything,
Mhm.
because they very well could have done it for this, and I think like the kind of the scarcity of that style of game is what's making it so popular.
Right. No, I agree. I agree. If you over make the market oversaturated, then it becomes less special when one comes up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently we're getting another direct on Kirby Air Riders.
Dude,
Why?
I saw that and I laughed. I'm like, I didn't watch the last one, and the last one was like 40 minutes long.
Yeah. Like I don't know what else you can show. I really think it's just Sakurai just wanted to talk. You know.
He's so excited.
You know what? I'm happy for him. He's been a Smash slave for so many years. I'm happy for him. But another one feels really unnecessary. Uh,
I was gonna say you we're up on it, and you seem like you don't want to talk about the Virtual Boy.
That's what I was just
I
about
know.
to talk
I saw
about.
the side. It's like you don't want to talk about the Virtual Boy coming to NSO that requires you to have
No.
their weird plastic third party thing.
No.
Or if you're on, or you could buy the card.
Yeah, the cardboard one if you're baller on a budget.
Oh man, that thing looked
Dumb. No,
There's
dude.
nothing that looks less enjoyable to play than Virtual Boy games in 2025
Dude,
or 2026.
when they came
whenever
up
that
with
comes
it
out.
and I saw the silhouette, I literally said, there is no damn way they're doing this. Like, there's no damn way they're adding the Virtual Boy to the freaking Nintendo Switch Online. Oh my God. They already have, like, God bless, feels like half the damn catalog coming because the catalog's only like 40 games. Oh God, no, this is so stupid. I hated the Virtual Boy. I never owned one. My friend across the street when I was a little kid, he had one. That thing sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I had one. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I hated that thing. That thing was terrible. I will not be buying the accessory though, even though it would be a cool little piece of to have. I'm not getting it.
What about Fatal Frame 2 remake? You gonna pick this up?
Okay, I might pick this up because like I've always wanted to play the Fatal Frames. I also think it's really funny that people are making jokes like, man, they will do anything but make a new Fatal Frame. But no, I mean, I've never played a Fatal Frame. I know they remade the first one, and this one is apparently also really solid. So I do want to play it. I do want to play it. So yeah, I threw that in there as shout outs because I do want to pick this game up. Now, what did you think about this Pokemon thing? Pokemon Pokepia. What did you think about this like farm sim? What do you think about this?
I don't care.
The Ditto farm sim.
I don't care. You could have.
You got like 3 games mashed into one. You got Minecraft, Animal Crossing, Stardew.
They could have. It's a weird choice. You could have just made generic human-esque character makes a farm with Pokemon.
Yeah, befriends the Pokemon, has the Pokemon
But
do the job.
instead it's
you gotta
like-
do Ditto.
It's like, oh, Ditto. All you've done is confirm that Ditto can transform into humans.
Yes, yeah. Which I think is so the character we play as is so dang ugly.
It's one where I'm like, it is what it is. I don't care.
I know Andy will enjoy this. Christina will enjoy this.
It's one where if for whatever reason I had this game, I would probably play it and have a decent time with it.
Right.
But when I'm looking at a list of games coming up, and I'm like, because I can only assume this is a Nintendo game, this game's gonna be expensive. And if
$60.
And if I'm looking at this and I'm like, am I gonna pay $60 for that, or am I gonna play anything else?
Right.
I'm not playing this.
Like I said, I know Christina will enjoy it, so I will be getting it. Andy, I imagine, will enjoy it. I thought of Andy pretty quickly. Shout out to Andy. But no, interesting choice. You know, they're really willing to be experimental with the Pokemon title and make some different kinds of games. And you know what? I respect it.
Yeah. Then we got a lot of new megas showing off for Pokemon Legends ZA.
Finally got the Kalos starters, which Chestnut looks so cool. My favorite of the 3. I think he looks so insanely awesome. Delphox also looks extremely cool. Greninja is the worst looking one.
I gotta say, for the most part, a lot of these new megas they don't look that interesting.
Yeah, so we also got Malamar revealed this week too, and Malamar looks fine. I saw what they're going for with the membrane system, whatever. Looks cool. I immediately thought of Xana from Code Lyoko. Hopefully, I unlocked a core memory there for
There's
somebody.
there's very
Um,
few of the new mega designs that I look at and I'm like, that looks cool.
yeah, so the ones we've seen so far, the only ones that I've said that looks sick or that looks cool is Chestnut, Delphox, and Raichu X. Everything else, it's like, Dragonite looks fine. Victory
Hey,
Bell.
we liked Halucha.
Okay, yeah, never. Yeah, you're right. Halucha's cool. Halucha's awesome. I will. Okay, you're right. My bad. My bad. Halucha is sick. Halucha's sick. Victory Bell was whatever.
Greninja's just got a giant water shuriken that he floats upside down on for some reason.
Yeah.
I saw him like floating upside down on the shuriken. I was like, you fucking bat now?
He's channeling his inner Naruto, man, using chakra and staying upside down. No, we also did get the Raichu X and Y, which X looks so much cooler to me.
Well, okay, I got to ask you this. How do you feel about we don't even have
I know.
Legends announced yet,
Or released.
or we don't have it released yet, and they've already announced a paid DLC, which I can only assume, based on how they showed it off, is you would probably have to buy the DLC to get those Raichu megas.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you saw this, John, but apparently the megas for the Kalos starters are also locked behind ranked online battles for ZA.
Didn't see that.
Yeah,
Either.
so that's a thing. So you have to have NSO to go through those battles. So to get like the new Raichu megas plus the Kalos megas plus buying the game, the expansion's probably going to be 20 30 bucks. The game is what, 70? So if you're getting on the Switch too, you're looking at like $110 just to like upfront be able to try to get everything. It is a little wild because you know you're gonna have to pay like 30 bucks a month or or not 30 bucks a month. I don't know how much NSO is. I think the NSO expansion pack is only a yearly subscription, so 60 bucks for that.
Yeah, it's one of the cheapest subscriptions that.
Yeah, it's you only have a yearly payment. So it's like 60 bucks, got to get that. I could be wrong then. Could be wrong on that, but then like probably 30 bucks DLC, 70 bucks game. You're looking for a lot of money up front just to be able to get all the content. Kind of wild.
The fact that like they kind of show off the Raichu megas and then tell you it's paid, like it's part of a paid DLC.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, well, that DLC, is that DLC coming day one?
See, that wasn't clear.
It's
like that was
wasn't
not clear
either.
I think it might be
because
they said that like you have to beat the game to get it.
It better be a fucking cheap DLC if you're releasing it day one.
Let me.
It's like there's nothing more greedy than releasing a $70 game and a $30 DLC on the same day.
Right. Let's see. Pokemon Mega Dimension. Let me see if I can pull this up. Mega Dimensions DLC on going straight to the Pokemon website. So this does actually release day one. It releases 10/16. So that's a plus. Is that it does come out same day.
As long as it's not $30.
It is $30.
Yeah, it's like it's a fucking dick move.
Yeah, no, it is in fact $30, brother. Yeah, because I saw something on Twitter that apparently you have to beat the game before you get access to this DLC. I think I that could be wrong though.
The other thing is it's like, why are you releasing it same day unless your game's short as fuck?
Yeah, that's another thing too. No, that's crazy. Shout out to Tyler in chat too. You're looking for a lot of money. Story of my life. Facts, bro. But yeah, so basically upfront cost of the game, 70 bucks, 30 bucks, 100 bucks, and you need to buy NSO so you can go play online so you can get the 3 Kalos starter megas, which apparently the 3 Kalos starter mega stones will not all even be available at launch. It will start off with Greninja that you have to play so much of the ranked online play to get his stone, and then the other 2 are coming later. This is diabolical.
I've completely lost interest in the Kalos starter megas.
Right? Like that's diabolical. Like if it was in-game stuff, right? I would probably put Chestnut back on my team. I had no intention on adding him to my team because like I thought his mega looked cool as hell. And I'm not picking Chikorita, so it would have worked out for me. But yeah, no, that is diabolical. And I'm just like, what are we even talking about? Like that's crazy to me. Like, you and I have NSO, I've got you on my family plan. So like, obviously we can have access to that, but the first thing it makes me think of, and it just kind of brings back like some PTSD and some annoyance. It reminds me of classic Xbox 360 Mass Effect 3, where I was forced to play the multiplayer to access the best ending of the game. Because the multiplayer and you progressing in the multiplayer increases your war readiness in the main story. Because you can get all the assets in the world, all the asset points in the world throughout the game, but by default your war readiness is stuck at 50%, and it only goes up by playing that multiplayer. So it's like, obviously as time goes on, and I'm wanting to replay Mass Effect, series, and I'm wanting to replay Mass Effect 3 in like 2018, bro, I ain't getting anybody in that damn game to help me out with these dang PvE missions. I gotta solo all this shit just so I can get my war readiness up. That's what it reminds me of, and I just get immediately irritated because like, how far do I have to go in this ranked online play to be able to get these
that's
mega
the
stones?
thing. It's like like I would say the average person who plays a Pokemon game never engages with the online battle system.
At least ranked, at the very least, they're not engaging with that, right? They might go do a casual thing,
Well,
maybe.
I would say I would
but
say
most don't. Yeah,
most people that play through a Pokemon game, they play through the story of the game, and then maybe try to complete the Pokedex. I think even the number of people that try to complete the Pokedex is drastically small.
yeah,
And then from there, it's like, and most people, they're going to be done with the game there. And it's like, and if you're really enjoying the game, you'll do a little bit of shiny hunting.
hmm
But to make the decision to go into ranked online or like to go into the online battle system at all, it's a whole different beast that you're stepping into.
true.
So it's like the average person would step into there, get destroyed one or two times, and be like, yeah, I'm not touching that again.
Right. The one plus side is that it is like this different, battle mechanics. It's not your standard like super in depth, EVs, IVs,
Yeah,
all
but
that.
still,
But it's still annoying.
it's still like
You're gonna get someone
it's
who's
still
gonna have a high skill level.
yeah,
And
it's like
destroy
still
you.
not something I'm gonna want to engage in.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. So yeah, if all of that seems to be accurate, like all the reports are, this is not ideal at all. Because this is everything that's come out of it. This is the big conversation point right now, is that these are behind. I guess it is legit because there was the press report that like the Greninja will be the first available, the other two comes later. So yeah, all legit, and it's just scummy.
Yeah,
Scummy.
I mean, one terrible system to force people to play into your online
Yeah.
system that don't want to. Second, having a rotating system. It's like, how often are you rotating? Is it going to be every week? There may be people that jump into the game, play it for a week, beat the game, do everything that they want to do in it, and never, and like not have the opportunity. Like, what if somebody's favorite Pokemon is Chestnut,
Yeah.
and they don't even have the opportunity to Mega Evolve them, which is something they may have been looking forward to, because even if they were like, okay, well, I guess I'll play the online so that I can do that,
Not even available.
and then it's not even available to them.
That's scummy, man.
It's like
you breaking it down like that really makes it even more scummy.
because it's one where I'm generally not a big fan of the Kalos starters.
Yeah,
They're
fine.
some
for you.
people love them. I don't care for them. I've played through the Kalos quite a few times actually. Generally like the region, but it's one where I never liked the starters. I like never used them in any like even my casual playthroughs
Mhm.
or anything. So it's one where I don't necessarily care about them getting megas, but it's one where I mean generally when a mon would get a mega, I mean you use it. It's like you would typically use it just to do it. It's
Mhm.
something new. You want to see how it feels. It could be one where it's like you may not like the mon itself, but the mega you like, so you try playing with it.
Right.
But not even having the option to. Like I said, there'll be plenty of people that play the game, maybe would have wanted to do the mega evolution and or like use it in their playthrough,
Yeah.
and will never be able to because by the time it becomes available to them, they'll be done playing the game.
Yeah, they'll lose interest or be like, I got other stuff that came out or whatever. Yeah.
Because it's one where I'm looking forward to Legends coming out, but it's also one where there are so many games coming out in the next month and a half where I'm like, I'm gonna play Legends for about a. It's like I'm gonna play it as much as I can for about a week,
Mhm.
and then other stuff's gonna be there.
Right around the window.
It's like other
Yeah.
stuff's gonna be coming out,
Right
or
around the
there's gonna
corner.
be games that I haven't finished yet. Because depending on how long the game is, may not be done with Digimon yet,
Mhm.
and I'll pivot to Pokemon to play it for a bit. But it's one where if I finish Legend, like the story of Legends and that, and then it's like, okay, well, you can run around and do all the rest of this stuff. Or I can go back and play Digimon.
Right.
Probably going to go back and play Digimon.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people are probably going to be that way, where
Yeah.
they're like, there's something else I would rather do than run around for 10 or 20 more hours dicking around.
Mhm. Yeah. No, everything about it is a lot of red flags have been raised. It's still going to be an enjoyable game if you're a Pokemon fan, but I'm a little pissed that I'm going to have to drop more money at launch, you know, because I'm already buying the game twice for me and Christina. Now it's like, okay, well, I gotta get the DLC now because I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play
Well,
the
you don't
DLC.
even have to buy the DLC when it first comes out because you got to beat the game
I
first
mean, that's
anyway.
true too. That's true too. That's true too. So no, overall, kind of scummy. Not kind of is scummy. Is scummy. Not a fan of the approach on things, but you know, Nintendo realizes this. Pokemon's too big to fail, so they're just gonna do whatever they want at this point and keep doing shit like this and keep testing the wall because this is the first time they've done announced paid DLC before a game's even come out. You know,
Yeah,
first time.
I mean,
They continue to dip their toes further in. How much can we get away with?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Chances of me buying this DLC for Legends very small.
Yeah.
It would have been small regardless, but it's one where I don't. Honestly, not gonna. I'm not buying it, and then I'll wait for you to play through it and tell me if there's anything even worth doing in it.
That's fair because it might just be a lot of grindy stuff anyway.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's one where it's like
They showed a lot of mega stones, so it's probably just a way to access all megas and plus new megas. That's probably
yeah,
all it is.
it's one where if it's. Well, that's the other thing is it's like if it's a way to get all the mega stones. I mean, that's a shitty thing to do to announce a bunch of new megas available for your game that's coming out and then lock it all behind a DLC.
Facts.
So it's like if that's the case, I guess I'm just gonna use normal megas
Right.
or all the previous ones.
Yeah, or the whatever other new ones that are announced, like Halucha. Shout out to Halucha, he looks cool. No, the only other things I guess shout out is Donkey Kong Bonanza got a DLC, DK Island Emerald Rush. And then shout out for Zach, Dynasty Warrior Origins is getting a paid DLC. It's coming to Switch too, but they also announced the paid DLC parts. I know he'll be checking that out. And then something else that I just wanted to highlight was the Resident Evil stuff at the end, Resident Evil 9 coming out to the Switch too. But, you know, kind of back to what I said about the tone setting that this direct did for a few different things is that Resident Evil 9 coming out launch day. It's not one of those things, oh, it's coming out sometime next year, you know, like we saw a lot with the Switch. And, you know, we've talked about this with the Switch 2 and the power capabilities and, you know, the inevitable problem. This is kind of what we can, I feel like, can potentially expect for now. Like, give it like 2 or 3 years down the line, you'll get a new, let's, I know obviously we're not 2 or 3 years out from a new Resident Evil, but let's just use Resident Evil since that's the example here. Okay. We got Resident Evil 9 coming out same day as PS5, same day as Xbox, same day, everything, right? For the Switch 2. Let's say 4 years from now, Resident Evil 10 gets announced. I could see that being confirmed for Switch 2, but be like, hey, you know, it's coming out for Switch 2 like a Hogwarts Legacy thing where it's like 8 months later, 10 months later, because, you know, they got to optimize it, whatever, optimize it down. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, these kind of these third party titles that you may question how well it could run on like the Switch 2 and stuff. I could see a lot of them coming out day and date right now, but probably just enjoy that for now. I don't see that remaining throughout the entire console life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that happening.
Well, I took the Resident Evil announcement for Switch 2 a little differently than you did because with the Fatal Frame 2 announcement and Resident Evil coming out like same day,
Yeah.
I kind of take this more of like because Nintendo Switch has always been the family friendly console.
That's fair too. A good way to look at
this is more of the approach of hey, we're looking to put more adult focused games on our console. We're not afraid to put like the big hitter like horror games of the year or like anything like that. We are gonna start putting more mature games
Yeah. That's
on our
fair.
platform as well.
That's very fair. You know, there was obviously a handful that came out throughout for the Switch. There was a lot of the older Resident Evils that
Yeah,
came
but
out.
this is them saying,
This is them putting their feet
yeah,
firmly
this
down,
this
day
is
and
them
date
saying,
release.
you can expect this going forward.
Yeah, yeah, especially since we know Call of Duty is going to be on the Switch too as well because the deal that got signed. I know it's on horror, but you know it's still a mature rated game. You know, so that, I mean that is a good point. Is that you know you can expect more adult type games for the Switch too throughout the. That's a good point. Yeah, especially since it is day and date for what's going to probably be the most anticipated horror game of 2026. So yeah, that's a good point. Overall, direct though, I mean, like the things that I took away from it, I mean, it's like an A minus for me. Fire Emblem bumped it up a lot. It was like probably a B minus or before Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem bumped it up quite a bit for me. Overall, I was pretty happy with the direct. I mean, like I said, I give it an A minus myself. What about you?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine for you.
It's
Yeah,
fine. I mean, Fire Emblem's cool. All the Dragon Quest stuff, cool. Uh, like seeing more about Pokemon, cool. Not happy with decisions being made, but seeing
true.
more of it is cool. So it's one where it's like a lot of Nintendo's like directs where they just show here's a bunch of stuff coming out soon.
Hmm.
Where for me, usually it's like one or two things in here that look cool, but other than that, hope somebody found something they liked.
Yeah, which usually almost every direct there is, you know. So shout out to that. All right, let me shout out some merch too. Shout out to spark3shop.com. Head over there right now and pick up some merch. We've got some new merch on the shop. The 7 out of 10 is a good game. That's a big thing that we preach over here. So you can go pick that up. We do have the Gamesthetic team shirt, ATFS team shirt, as well as a few other things. I got some more stuff in the works too coming out soon. So head over to spark3shop.com right now. Pick up some merch. We'd appreciate that extra support. All right, John. Digimon story
It's
time.
Digimon time.
Digimon story time, Stranger demo. Shout out, surprise announcement for this. So it was nice to see that got released this week. Came out Thursday for us.
Yeah. So Digimon Story Time Stranger demo released on pretty much every console or everywhere that it's available.
Yeah.
Everywhere that you can buy the game, it was released for. And I mean, one thing, like we've said multiple times, love the fact that demos have been coming back.
Facts.
Love the fact that demos have been coming back. Also, love the fact that progress carries over if you buy the game.
Facts.
So it's one where very excited to see that. But yeah, demo itself, it just throws you in the beginning of the game.
Mm.
And the character and organization that we work for, man, there's no explanation for it.
Yeah, no.
It's just like, hey, we researched these anomalies that happen. But even then, they don't know what any of this stuff is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of your standard Digimon type game opening where something's happening. Oh wow, what's this creature? Oh, we've been hearing about these and kind of studying these things. So we're gonna call them Digimon.
Yep.
But immediately, you kind of you got to pick your starter. What did you pick?
I picked Patamon.
Okay.
I did end up going Patamon. I was kind of leaning Gomon there for a little bit because I do like Gomon a lot. I like Vikemon, but I viewed like in the long run, would I still have potentially Vikemon as part of my my crew? Like let's say in the OG stories, I kept them with me the whole time. I voted no, but I would probably definitely keep Seraphimon the whole time. I like Seraphimon. He's pretty sick.
Where do you think I went?
Did you go Demi Devilmon?
I did go Demi Devilmon.
That's not what I expected. Just you asking that question made me think that.
I was looking at him. I was like, I'd normally never make this decision. I'm gonna do it.
We're on two separate ends of the spectrum.
But it's one where, because I mentioned this to you at the beginning, right when you pick your partner Digimon, man, this game tells you immediately it's gonna be extra.
Yeah.
Because you immediately get this over the top summoning entrance for the Digimon, which I loved. Like you do this whole thing where like he pulls out his like phone or something,
it's
and
like
then it like
phone
transforms
Digivice.
into a gun that he fires, and then it summons the digit. It's really over the
It is
top.
over the top, yeah.
It kind of sets the tone that they're like, oh, we're gonna have some fun
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna lean into a lot of stupid stuff.
Uh, and then it just kind of introduces you to the battle mechanics.
Mhm.
There's a lot of tooltip menus that come up to explain the battle systems and like types and stuff like that. Uh, which is, I mean, it's fine. I don't remember elemental weaknesses being as big of a deal in previous like Digimon story games.
They were there in the cyber games.
Yeah, I don't remember them being like as big of a difference. I
Mhm.
remember it being more focused on
The virus vaccine or
yeah,
data.
virus vaccine data. Uh, but like in this game, the damage difference you get for it being like the correct type, like virus data, and that, or as compared to like the elemental damage, it kind of just evens everything out,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, it's nice. Makes it where you don't have to worry as much.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's one where I didn't ask you about this earlier, but you immediately get introduced to their preemptive strike mechanic. How you feel about that?
I like it.
Oh, it's great.
I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Because it basically just you hit the right. I was playing on my Xbox controller. You hit the right trigger. It sends your Digimon out to attack
Mhm.
whatever Digimon's roaming around in front of you, and it automatically sends out the one that would have the highest damage impact on it,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah. No, that whole side of things was like the moment I was able to do it with all the Coromon, I'm like, oh, this is such a nice quality of
Oh
life.
yeah, I was like, this is it's like this is some quality of life we were needing.
Yeah, this is great, man. And let's talk about quality of life needing. Let's talk about the converting and stuff. That is
So
amazing. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
so it took a little longer to introduce it in this game
Yeah.
than it has in previous ones. But every time you battle a Digimon, it's kind of depending on the level, or not the level, but the tier, I guess.
Yeah,
Or like
whatever.
the form of it, whether it's like baby, rookie, whatever.
Hmm.
Uh, you get a different percentage of like conversion of that Digimon. That goes up to 200%. 200% being the maximum. If you convert it at 200%, then uh, you now have that Digimon as part of that you can add to your team. And the higher percentage that you do it at, it basically means the higher stats that it starts with.
Hmm.
But you can just do it whenever you want to now. You can do the conversion whenever you want to. You can digivolve whenever you want to. De-digivolve, all of it on the fly.
Yeah, which for context, you had to go back to a certain location, your little digi farm thing to even
Yeah,
to do all of that.
yeah. You used to have to like go out, grind up levels, and then because one of the things in these Digimon games is whenever you have a Digimon that can digivolve, you typically you have several options that it can go to,
Yeah.
and it's different stat requirements that it has to have.
Hmm.
And in some cases, like for story related reasons, so you don't have like super overpowered mons, uh, you have to achieve certain story progression level that in this game they refer to as agent level. Uh, so you either have to have progressed far enough in the story to be able to do it, or just stat requirements. And in previous Digimon games, a large part of like leveling up and being able to get more stats and that is max its level out, or it's like you go farm up, max its level out, de-digivolve it, or digivolve. It's like you digivolve it up, max its level out, and then de-digivolve it back down,
Hmm.
do it again, and then that increases its maximum potential. So a large part of it is about farming in that. So you used to have to go to your grind spot, grind out for a while, go back to your specific area you had to go to do all of that. Now you can do it wherever you want to.
Yep.
It's a very simple change, but my God, it's a game changing.
Oh my gosh, it makes it so much better. Like it makes like that's the one thing about this game with like the battle mechanics they introduced and the converting and digivolving and stuff is like they really just want to speed up the game, make it just super accessible where you can just kind of go play the game. It's not super inconvenient to do things, right? You can just go play. So that's one of the big things that they really kind of highlighted there with those quality of life changes. One of my personal favorite changes from the demo is the fact that like your Digimon actually talk. Like that's cool. I like that you can talk to them and the answers you give kind of change, like stats about the Digimon. I like how they actually talk in battle and just don't make random noises.
Yeah, because in the previous games, like you said, they would make random noises, but any communication you had with the Digimon themselves was it was just like standard responses that would be given back that you would get on your Digi device.
Yep.
For your like in your communication section. So you every now and then when you were playing, you would just go to it, and there would be like 10 responses that you would have to give. They were all just stock responses.
Yeah. All basic stuff. Yeah.
Uh, but like the Digimon have like actually having voice lines, actually having conversation stuff they could say,
Hmm.
actually saying their moves when you do them. It sounds dumb to be saying, "Oh, they actually say their moves." We haven't had that.
Yeah. I haven't had that. And that's like a core part of the anime and stuff.
Yeah, it's a core part of Digimon. Like if I have Agumon and I use Pepper Breath, he says Pepper Breath before he attacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it's one of those where that's part of Digimon.
Yeah.
And we finally actually get some of it.
And obviously noticed it right away with Patamon, whatever, with Air Bubble, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's nice, nice." Man, did it really set in when Omnimon showed up and he used Transcend Sword and yelled that out? I was like, "Whoo, buddy! I can't wait to hear a lot of these moves throughout the game, brother."
Yeah, and it's man, I will say like in the beginning of the game, you basically in the demo, you show up to an area that has a protest going on. You're alerted to anomalies going on inside.
Yep.
Your job is basically get inside, figure out what's going on. And you get in there, you find there's a woman in there who nobody knows why has like been given access to communication with you.
Hmm.
And then she basically just tells you, get up to the rooftop. They might already be fighting. You show up there. God damn, is everything fighting?
Yep.
And they are not afraid to show you some high level, high ranking Digimon right off the fucking bat.
True.
So it is pretty cool because it does set the tone of like,
Very
oh,
quickly.
we're on a grand scale in this game. We've all in the previous games for the most part, at least in like the Digimon story games, we've been on a pretty low scale for the most part. We are on like world ending scale from the get go here.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is awesome.
Yeah, no, and honestly, that is like such a great approach on how to take this game because it's like Digimon games are Digimon games, right? They're going to be games that the Digimon fandom will enjoy, that they will, love or hate, nitpick, whatever. Even if they're fine games, they'll enjoy them to some extent. This is like we've talked about in this show. This is the game that feels like it could legitimately change Digimon because as we've talked about before, like jokingly and stuff, it's just like it's never had this much attention before.
Right,
It
yeah,
hasn't.
yeah. It's like
People's never paid attention to Digimon games like this.
it's like the last couple games, Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, and Hacker's Memory.
Yeah.
It's like we love those games, and the people that play them love those games.
Yeah. Then
But
you
they're
had what?
very small, like they're very kind of small scale niche games.
Yeah. And then you had what, like Next Order and then Survive. I think that was the only other Digimon games that came
Yeah,
out.
it was World Order and then Survive.
Yeah. So which both of those just did their thing. Survive was kind of a negative reception because people didn't know what it was going into it, which
Yeah.
whatever.
But
Uh,
it's one where, yeah, we've said before, Digimon has never gotten this attention,
Yeah.
and the fact that like from us, so like we've been playing these games for years and years, and this one's coming out. It's like everything, like every small change that we've kind of talked about so far. They're small changes, but they're massive changes
Yeah.
because we're used to the clunky gameplay design of these games, and now everything feels good. Everything feels smooth.
Yeah, and everything that they've done from a story approach, where you just get really dropped into world-ending events to all these quality of life changes, it's like it really is catering to not only us as the long-term fans and supporters, but it's catering to try to bring in a bigger audience, which is great because I think this game really can bring in a large audience.
There is one thing that I'm slightly worried about in this game, and just because it would be a minor annoyance to me, and that is, man, I hope when the game comes out and I play through the rest of it, man, I hope I don't get stopped every 30 feet for my Digimon communicator
Oh yeah,
for them to stop and talk to me and tell me you need to move forward. You've got clearance to go. It's like I would already be there if you would stop stopping me to tell me that.
I think it's just because it's the demo.
It's the
Early
demo.
game.
It's the
Yeah,
early game.
yeah,
They gotta stop you at points to tell you everything.
yeah,
But it's one where it's like it kept happening. I was like, could you let me go?
yeah. It's like stop it,
I know what I'm doing. Let me
stop
go.
it, stop it. No,
I do. I will say as well. I love the way they have boss fights right now. They feel like grand fights
right.
because we get two of them.
Yeah,
We get two of them, technically two of them in the demo. I like the way that I like the way they're framed because
mhm,
they're like when you get into a battle, it is a simple thing as well, but it does just kind of take the area surrounding you and it just encapsulates that into a battle screen essentially. So
mhm,
you still see all the stuff happening around you. You're still in the same destroyed locations.
right.
It's just cool.
Yeah. Big grand scale health, big fancy health bar, whole 9 yards. Yeah. Really kind of elevates it to a different level where before it was still the same battle mechanics. And it's just like,
Yeah.
well, here's your boss, but same approach. You don't feel like it's the boss, even though you know it's the boss.
Well, yeah, it's one where like in the previous like Digimon story games, like Cyber Sleuth and that especially, you'd do some missions and you would come up to like the boss at the end of it, and for them a lot of times it would just be it's like a Digimon you've fought
Hmm.
20 times so far. Just this one has 10 times the HP.
Yeah.
So far, every boss that or the two bosses we got to see, you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, for where I am in the game, that's a fucking boss.
Right.
It's like I should not be fighting this right now. I should not win this.
Hmm.
But it's like it's like you can overcome it.
Yeah.
But it's one where it's nice for it to make sense why you're facing something. It's like, oh yeah, it makes sense why that thing why it's like it's only level 7, but it makes sense why it has so much more HP than I do.
Yeah.
It's like that thing is 3 or 4 stages ahead of where I'm at.
Right. Right. No, everything, this demo was like the perfect sampling size of like all the changes that they're making with the battle stuff, the converting, just the Pokemon being more interactive, stat increases, the boss stuff, the
Whoa.
battles, everything.
Whoa, I'm gonna have to check you there. You said Pokemon.
Oh, Digimon, sorry. My bad. Ooh, gonna have to cut that out of the clip.
Yeah. No, it is like you said, it is a nice condensed little dish of like here's all of our changes and here's what you're going to be in for
Right.
if you decide to play the rest of the game, which everywhere I've looked so far, this demo is rated amazingly.
Yeah, I know. Everyone is super excited for it, man. And that's what I love to see as well, because it goes back to what we just said. Digimon's never had like this level of attention for its games. The only way Digimon's ever had huge attention is because of like movies and stuff,
Yeah.
especially when you return the original cast of the Adventure Tries and stuff and Last Evolution. But like, man, for the games to get this level of attention, dude, it feels like we're in a new era for Digimon.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Usually the only spike, like you said, the only spike in Digimon attention is those movies or short series based around the original cast that everybody remembers. And it
Yeah.
is kind of like the nostalgia grab. This doesn't feel like nostalgia grab. This feels like people are genuinely getting interested in Digimon.
Yeah. Which I'm gonna be real, man. I really think this game can like review and score very well. Like I'm gonna be doing my October Metacritic predictions here in the near future before my trip.
Don't get overexcited.
No, I'm serious. I think it can review very well.
It can review decently well. Remember, you got to keep in mind don't like you got to remember this is extreme hype for Digimon, Remember, that's for Digimon.
I know. I'm just saying.
Keep yourself in check a
Look,
little bit.
listen. I'm feeling a high 80 is possible. I think that's possible. High 80. I think high 80 is possible. That's what I'm leaning towards right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, yeah, it's hard for me to say what I think it was going to be because I like, as I've said all like ever since this game got announced, I know what this game is to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what this game is. I'm gonna love this game. This game is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Already a masterpiece on the
This-
board.
This game, they showed me preemptive strike, and I did it, and I said 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he texted me, he messaged me. He's like, "Have you played it yet?" Quality of life's already a 10 out of 10.
They told me how to do a damn that I could convert on the fly, and I went, oh man, this game's a masterpiece.
That's all it takes for John and Digimon.
I mean, when it comes to a Digimon game, I'm used to playing a janky game.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, this one it runs good, it looks good, it feels good. Like even for a non-Digimon game, it feels great.
It does feel good, yeah. So now, super excited. Again, I won't get to play it at launch, but I will be very eager to get messages from you and hear how it is. I am very excited to finally get my hands on play this.
I'm only gonna send you spoilers.
All right. Well, you know, I normally I don't mind spoilers. I'm all about spoilers. I'm one of those freaks, but I don't know. Maybe this time I have to block you. I don't know if I want spoilers on this one. I want to experience
there was
it.
one. I knew I was ahead of you in the demo, and I kind of wanted to send it to you, even though I knew you were gonna be coming up to it shortly. It was like at the end of the demo, like like right before it cuts you off, and it's like you've reached the end of the demo. It's when you meet the girl in the sewer.
Oh yeah.
And it zooms in on her, it shows her name, and then it just says fledgling streamer. I just wanted to clip that and throw it into Discord because that was one of the most fun things to do when we were all playing 100 Days.
Yeah.
Was just take those wacky screenshots and just throw them in there.
True.
And I was like, oh, this would fit in perfectly with those.
God, man. No, very excited for the full game, dude. I'm so excited for the release. I'm excited to get my chance to play it. You know, again, it sucks that it comes out literally the day before I go on a trip, but you know, it's fine. You know, it'll be a nice thing to come home to. Come home ready to play it on Wednesday, whatever. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. All right, let's shout out some Rogue Energy. Use our referral link down below, promo code SPARKY3 to get 10% off your order, no matter what you're picking up, whether it's hydration, chill, or the energy line, cans or tubs. The promo code and the referral link works on all of it and helps support the brand. They got a better sale going on. No big deal. You don't have to use our promo code. Just use our referral link, and you're still going to be helping out the brand. Again, head over to Rogue Energy with the referral link down below and pick up some Rogue. We'd appreciate that support. You got anything else you want to chat about? You want to hop in a weekly wrap-up?
We can hop in.
Okay, let's hop in a weekly wrap up. Let's see where am I at. There we are. Did you see Borderlands 4 reviews? Reviewing pretty fine. You know, it hits about the park where Zach thought it would. About 84 on Metacritic, 85 OpenCritic, couple 10s, lots of 9s and 8s. You know,
I haven't paid attention to the Metacritic. I've been watching the player reception.
Yeah, how's that been?
Unoptimized PC port.
Oh no, not again.
People are not happy with the performance of it on PC.
What's the review right now on Steam?
I don't know the percentage. It was sitting at mixed when I looked at it earlier.
Man, they can just never get these PC stuff right, can they?
No.
It is setting a mix, 65% currently at mixed.
Yeah. The people that have the beefy machines that can run it are enjoying the game. Everybody else is unable to play the game from the sounds of it.
Yeah, I mean, the top review is 14 hours on record. Gameplay is fun, but the crashing and frame issues is pretty on a pretty beastie PC. Even at lower settings, it's unacceptable at a $70 game. Other than performance issues, gameplay is exactly what you expect from Borderlands. This person, only 6 hours on record, say it runs like absolute garbage. Cannot recommend this game until it's fixed.
That's like every review that you can see on it is people enjoy what they've been able to play, but are basically finding it unable to play because of constant crashing, stuttering issues, frame rate problems, things like that. So it's one where, I mean, it sucks. Like I've been mostly complaining about PC versions of games for a long time, because nobody ever really does, or nobody truly takes the time, it feels like, to make a truly optimized PC port.
Yeah.
But it's one where I mean, it's like the problem with like PC ports, a lot of times is like a similar problem that we see with like game studios, where it's like they have so many people that work on it that it inflates budgets and things like that.
Mhm.
Whereas like on the PC side of it, it's like they just try to port the game over, and then they just have it crazy minimum requirements that you have to have. So they either have crazy top end machines that are basically your minimum requirements, or they just make the game look and run like ass.
Mhm.
And that just seems to be the way it goes.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm wondering if Zach picked it up, because I know he'd probably pick it up like on console. Well, I don't know. He just got a brand new
Well,
PC.
yeah,
He probably would get it on PC actually.
yeah.
Well, in his case, he might be able to run it. I don't know.
Oh yeah. He would. For him, it should run fine. For me, it should run fine.
Yeah.
But it's one where I don't. I wasn't planning on picking it up
Yeah.
on launch anyway.
I wonder if he got it. I guess we'll find out maybe next week when he's back on, if he ended up getting it and what's his thoughts. But I mean, reviews, overall going well, I guess, except for the player score on PC. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully they get it fixed. There was also a new Nintendo patent that came out, which
Fucking
this
pieces of shit.
which this sparked some controversy. Nintendo filed a new patent that focuses on summoning a monster in game and make them battle for you. The knee-jerk reaction online is that the Nintendo could basically kind of sue anybody about this patent, like the likes of Final Fantasy, Persona, etc. But there were people that did a deep dive on the patent. I skimmed through it, but I'm not educated on everything to kind of fully understand. I did go; it was like a 20-something page patent, I think. And it does seem like apparently it was more designed around the mechanics of Legends DA, but it's still also the thing. Like, man,
But it
patenting
doesn't-
these mechanics is like, ugh.
It doesn't matter if it's specifically for mechanics like ZA. It's the problem is gameplay mechanics themselves shouldn't be patented.
Yeah,
It's like, because all you do is like you stifle the iteration that can be done upon the mechanics.
hmm
If you patent the mechanics, that means the only person who can iterate on it is then you.
yeah,
And then it becomes a thing where if someone comes a little too close, or if somebody makes something and they view it as too close, they can. The problem is, even if it is specifically supposed to be about this, it's Nintendo. They're known to be petty. It's like if they decide they want to go after somebody, yeah, the intention is for it to be for Legends, but they can always make an argument for anything even remotely close to it. It's one of those where I am not a fan of patenting mechanics.
Oh no, it's garbage.
It's like it is a terrible system that they are allowed to do that.
hmm
So it's one where I am not a fan.
Yeah, and this is also probably going to further allow them to go after Power World too, which that's like the one time in really history where Nintendo's like, okay, you're stepping a little too close to our toes here.
Well, yeah, I mean it's one where it's like the problem with this patent, like at least from the initial wording we have on it, that knee jerk reaction is because they go after anybody.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, if you dive deep into it, it might be a little more specific, but at the same time, it's always a little bit like ambiguous,
Mm.
so that they can go after anyone. It's
right.
like, yeah, we are the only ones that can do this. Well, for a little bit of clarification, there's a U.S. patent.
Yes, yeah, that's also true. U.S.
It's a
patent.
U.S. patent, so they can go after companies in the U.S. or like companies and games based in the U.S.
Mhm.
is what they can go after with this.
Yep.
Probably because people, other like patent industries around the world would probably be like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Right. It's like, this is stupid.
Like, no.
No, patenting mechanics is garbage. You know, they've been doing this for a while. This is not a new thing. Let's make that known. But it's like it's become such a huge conversation point because of everything that started with Power World.
Yeah, because
Like that's where it
Nintendo
started
started
as a
going after
conversation point.
patents so aggressively.
Yeah.
It's one where, I mean, you could make arguments all you want to, but the thing is, I can hardly see a reason why you would patent a mechanic except to be able to go after somebody that is is doing something similar to you, but doing it and like gaining a lot of popularity from it.
Yeah. You would have to have a really, really cool and unique mechanic to patent that thing, in my opinion.
The other thing is, if you do have a really cool and unique mechanic, it still sucks when you patent it because then if you don't do anything with it,
Yeah. Nemesis system.
yeah.
Nemesis system. Rest in peace, brother. Let's see. Next, I got some new controller stuff. Astrobot Joyful Limited Edition DualSense up for pre-order, as well as the Xbox Breaker Series up for pre-order, featuring Ice, Heart, and Storm. Did you like any of these designs?
Eh, I mean, they're fine.
Yeah. Did you ever get the Astrobot one? Like
No.
your OG one? You gonna get this one?
Probably not. I'm on a break from controllers.
Next thing I've got, speaking of controllers, a rare DualSense worth $1,300 was completely destroyed in transit. It was an Applin Green controller that was an esports World Cup in Saudi Arabia exclusive that a brand called Console Variations purchased. It was estimated there's only a few thousand ever made, and based off photos of items of the purchase, it was in great conditions, and all signs point to post NL for mishandling the package. I wanted to throw this in there because I wanted to ask you, if you dished out like, $200, $300 for a controller you've really been wanting for a while, and it came in just where the controller is like split in half on one side, what would you do? Like, obviously, you're going to try to get your money back,
Yeah,
but
I
just
mean,
what would be your immediate reaction of seeing that box and that controller?
I mean, it depends. It's all entirely about where you buy the controller from.
Yeah.
Most controllers that I've bought like I've bought new in package, or they come with a box,
Right.
or it's like they come with their original box. I've only bought one controller that didn't come, or two controllers that didn't come with the original box with them. But even those, I mean, they come in. They come in a giant, like a pretty good sized package, at least for a controller, and they're wrapped up, boxed up.
Yep.
Usually like wrapped and then boxed and then put in another box to keep them safe.
Yeah.
So it's one where
The right way to do it.
it's like, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be happy. I'd immediately be filing a claim to get my money back.
Oh, yeah.
Or something. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
one where, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, also it's one where, I mean, I'm never gonna be willing to shell out near
That price.
that
Yeah.
price for. It's like hell, I've shelled out a couple $100 for a controller, and that was still
Pushing it.
like, man, I was still second guessing. I was like, I don't know if I should be doing this.
Second guessing yourself. I get it. Next thing, Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection was announced for 2026. That's cool. I never played these games back on the DS, so I would be interested to play them. Apparently, they're not super well received, but either way, they look cool. I'd play them. Dead Island 3 is apparently being teased as Dead Island 2 has passed 20 million players. That's crazy, but all right. Pacific Drive Whispers in the Woods expansion was announced, which I still want to play this game. This game just, I don't know, looks kind of fun. Keanu Reeves says that he would love to play Silverhand again in Cyberpunk 2, the sequel. If they can find a way to make it work, absolutely. But I don't know how you would make it work. It depends on what kind of story you want to tell. But if you want to get Silverhand in there, I am all for it, brother. Keanu was fantastic as Johnny Silverhand. And the last piece of news I got is some PS6 reports. So the first one, this one's just kind of floating around a little bit, that the design for the PS6 was apparently going to go for a very simple design versus the PS5 to save on cost. That makes perfect sense, especially with the kind of hardware that's going to be within the console. And then this next one was actually per Insider Gaming that a disc drive will be sold and launched alongside the console. So physical gaming looks like it will live on in some capacity for at least another generation, which I was already kind of thinking anyway. But we are slowly dying out of physical games. But I'm glad it's not. I'm glad we're not ripping out the cord just yet, because I like my physical games. I am a boomer. You got any news you want to shout out? You got anything?
I don't think so.
I can't think of anything else myself. No, I can't think of anything else. All right, game set game of the week. I guess back to you. You got anything, or do you want me to throw something out there? What do we got?
Let's see. Gamestetic game of the week. I'll go with a game I haven't. It's not a game I necessarily played a whole lot of. But I love the mechanics of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Gamestetic game of the week is a game called Dicey Dungeon. It's essentially a roguelike game where you pick like a character to go through and do your battles and everything with. The kind of unique mechanic for the game is it's all about all the characters are dice focused. So you roll dice and each character has their own unique mechanic for like how rolling the dice affects the way like your attacks or something work. It's like it basically just changes the way that their like combat and that works in the game. It's not anything super fancy, and it's not like I said, it's not a game I put a whole lot of time into. But it was one where I think I enjoyed the mechanics of the game more so than I enjoyed the game itself. It's one where I play it, or I think haven't played it in like 6 months or so. But it's one where every now and then I pop on. It's kind of one of those like Steam Deck games for me.
That's fair. Always good to have some Steam Deck games.
Yeah, but it's one where if you like roguelike games with kind of unique mechanics, this one is more dice rolling focused. So it's one where I'd give it a shot. I'd give it a look. It's generally a pretty cheap game. Goes on sale fairly frequently. So nice. I'd take a look at it.
Nice. Okay. All right. Another Gamestead game of the week back in the books, and hopefully Zach can be here next week, and we'll pass it back to him and keep on rolling. All right, let's hit the music and let's get out of here.
All right, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And if you like what you saw with us here this week, we do these live streams every Saturday, usually about 6 p.m. Central Time, with the exceptions like this week. But for the most part, we'll be on about 6 p.m.
Yeah, and make sure to also check out the Patreon if you want to support us further. We appreciate that extra support, as well as checking out some Rogue Energy and Sparky 3 shop. Join the Discord, be a friend, tell a friend. We'll be back next week. Can't wait. And thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good one. Bye.